Maybelline New York's Let's Be Brave Together. So before we kick off this event and kick off the panel discussion that we are all really looking forward to, I'd just like to spend a few minutes to introduce to you Maybelline, what we do. And
on the panel today is Shaheen. Shaheen Bhatt is a screenwriter and author of the best-selling book I've Never Been Unhappier. Shaheen is also the founder of Here Comes the Sun, mental health awareness campaign to help address the stigma and discrimination around depression and anxiety. Through Here Comes the Sun, Shaheen has also collaborated with Books on Toast to create the Shiny aims at combining reading. Hi Arjun. Arjun is a counseling psychologist from Hisar in Haryana. He completed his master's in psychology from Ambedkar University in 22. He has written 2 books on mental health and is currently working with a focus on men's mental health. As the founder of Mind Tuition, he works closely with students preparing for competitive exams to train them psychology for the day of the exam and help them vent the stress that they experience during preparations. Thanks Arjun for joining us. Also on stage is Malika. Malika Dua is an actor, writer, comedian. Her work through the years includes shows like Comedy Premium League, Mintra Fashion Superstar, Fake or Not, and Midnight Misadventures. She's also featured in movies like Zero, Namaste England, and Indu Ki Jawani. Welcome, Malika. Thanks for joining us. And of course, last but not least is PV Sindhu. An Indian professional badminton player, 2-time Olympic medalist, 2022 Commonwealth Games gold medalist and 2019 world champion. By winning the gold medal at the 2019 World Championships, Sindhu became the first Indian ever to become a world champion in badminton. Sindhu is also brand ambassador for Maybelline New York, and of course the brand is running the campaign Let's Be Brave Together. So welcome to all my panelists. Thank you for joining us today. So get us started with the campaign and what made you want to be part of it?
Yeah, well, firstly, a very good afternoon to everyone, and I'm really very happy to be here today talking about this campaign. I think, nowadays, when people talk about health, it's more of physical health and not about mental. And maybe now, slowly, it is starting up that people are coming out and speaking about it, which is a good thing, but I think it needs to be in such a way where people shouldn't be scared and take a step back thinking that, something is wrong. I don't think anything is wrong, but I think that is how, a lot of people here have faced a lot of problems in their life, but I think, explaining it would be a better thing for them as well, and they will feel better about it. And I feel that, when they spoke about this campaign, I felt, yes, it is really good. And I know, because I've seen my friends who are very close to me facing that problem and they couldn't come out from that. So that is why I think I'm really very happy that I'm doing this campaign, that yes, let's be brave together and come out and speak whatever it is.
Thanks, Sindhu.
And which is why I have now started to give 50% of myself to my work, and the other 50 I actively try and, what we cutely call self-care these days, I do that. Full disclosure, my sister is a therapist, so mental health in our house was always a very open conversation, luckily. She made it easy for me to kind of seek help, or she never looked at me as, "Acha, this one is a problem child, isko ye hai." Like, we have a tendency to name the problem, right? Like, we don't actually try and fix that. So I think since 2013 I've been in therapy and on and off medication, and that has been something that has been one of the best things I've done for myself, because we just pop pills for everything, right? But we don't do it somehow there's a big stigma associated with the most vital part of our entire being. So to answer your question, how I balance my work and the changes, the problems that life kind of throws at us, is that I make sure that I give myself that dedicated time, whether it is to do my therapy, what Shaheen said, the regular stuff, you have to do that. It's like some people just have to do more than others, right? And that's just, and even in that there are degrees. Like, I may have to do less than somebody else may have to, but I have to be extra careful. I have to surround myself with people who don't kind of make me feel like I'm racing against time or, you know, not doing well enough. I have to make sure I don't go too much on social media, even if it is my work, because I think I have to create more than I consume. At least in my profession, that's more important. And I think the most important thing I've realized is there's no point fighting it. Sometimes if you are going through pain, you are going through anxiety, trauma, whatever it is that you're going through, sometimes the only way out is through. You have to go through it. There's no point numbing it. There's no point being in denial or being positive. It doesn't work. You have to just go through it. Yeah.
So one of the things I want to follow up again, Monica, is this whole issue of the fact that there is so much stigma around mental health, and sometimes that's also at a personal level. Many of us who might be struggling, you know, I'm a health professional, but I have to say there are many health professionals who struggle with mental health issues. But even with our training, we find it difficult to access care. So, you know, how do you get to that self-realization that I do really need to access care, and this is something which will help me, but you have to take that step. So thoughts on that?
So back when I started therapy, there was none of this. Like today, what we're doing here with Maybelline, with Sangat, this whole thing was not even a topic. Like I remember very slyly telling this guy I was dating, oh, I take medication for mood swings. Like that is how I twisted and turned it and explained it to him. But today what we're doing, I feel it's a lot more accessible, not just for us privileged lot, but for a lot of people who are watching us and might feel that it's okay to seek help. That said, I feel that there has to be more empowerment for therapists. There has to be, like, I love that Maybelline is doing this, and you know there is a helpline and they are literally putting their money and their might behind this. Because from the perspective that I see at home, therapists feel they may not earn enough, but clients feel that they cannot afford therapy as often. You know, it's a lot of money once a week to pay that for a lot of salaried professionals. It's a lot of money. So somewhere the government or more corporate organizations have to put their might behind that. And I feel that's how it's going to be easier for individuals. Like, I know a friend of mine, her company sponsors her therapy. And she's so much better for that. Because she doesn't have to worry about, oh, how do I, like, because that's an added anxiety, right? I have to make that money, I have to pay that money, then how do I talk to this person, how do I make time for it? But if your organization understands that, I think that's the most wonderful thing, because a lot of mental health issues are also systemic. Like sometimes we try to find solutions internally or just within us and around us, but a lot of the problems are systemic. People don't have access to healthcare, people don't have access to a lot of facilities growing up. They grow up with a lot of sense of like, what do you say, a very deficient sense of self-worth they grow up with, and those are systemic problems, you know. And I know I'm no spokesperson for someone who is not privileged, because I've had a very privileged upbringing. But as an observer, I can say that that's also some place we need to pass the mic on.
Right, absolutely. And you know, there's a lot of young people in the audience, as you might have realized.
Tell Melissa, I'm back. You're. Come, fast. Bag लेके आ. Sit here. It has songs also. Yeah.
step, take it